Hello, my name is Jenna, and I'm going to be showing you how to develop and implement a strategy that's leveraging these incredible automation tools that Julie just introduced to us. How you start building a strategy is by defining very specific goals, and we recommend doing this starting with a discovery workshop style meeting with key members of your team. Key members of your team are going to include people from management, someone from sales, someone from marketing, anybody that might have a unique perspective on your customers. When companies start defining goals, we typically hear something like, I want more customers. This is a very ill-defined goal for your team to work with. So instead, we start this discovery workshop by defining who your best customers are with your team. Who do you want on your website? And as Julie mentioned, this is called a buyer persona. A buyer persona is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer. Now, maybe you identify 4 different types of buyers that you want on your website. For the remainder of your workshop, you're going to choose the top persona and focus on him for the remainder. Maybe now that you've chosen application engineer Chet, you can define your goal by saying something like, I want more customers who are application engineers with a cosmetic application like loose powders or creams. You've identified your 4 different personas, you've honed in on one, you've gotten all of your team members to buy in and agree. You've identified Chet as your primary persona and what the ultimate goal is. Now you want to identify what Chet's primary pain points are that are relevant to your solutions. What information does Chet need in each stage of his buying journey that matches your sales process? So there's 3 different stages: awareness, consideration, and decision. In the awareness, Chet just is trying to answer questions and define his problem, really understand what he needs. And this is your time to introduce your thought leadership and establish trust, introduce your positioning, and address his common questions. You're going to move them into that consideration stage where that content, that educational content, is going to be a little bit more in depth. You're going to provide product and service information and address his pushbacks, getting him sales ready in that decision stage for your sales team. Now, I find the best way to explain the strategy process is using an example. So I'm going to use an example glide line. They're a specialty manufacturer solving unique conveyor application issues. So Chet is their persona, their primary persona that they're trying to target. His primary pain points, there's 3 of them. He's trying to find short lead times, which is very hard in the industry. In the industry, you're typically seeing about 12 weeks, up to 12 weeks, and they can do it in under 4. It's not a coincidence that this is also a unique selling proposition for Glideline, right? Okay, the second pain point that Chet experiences is that they're looking for a flexible or unique conveyor solution. An example of that is maybe he needs to build up instead of out, which takes a ton of floor space. Or maybe they need an open center conveyor design so that IV bags can hang down, the tubing can hang down through the conveyor line. The third is that the client needs to develop a project or a layout and get a quote as soon as possible. So again, here are the triggers and the associated goals. We recommend turning each of these primary pain points into what we call these mini strategies or campaigns. Each campaign takes a month to execute. So think of this, take a look from a management perspective. You're able to approve a clear 3-month roadmap for your marketing team. Everybody from marketing to sales to management is all aligned and buys into these goals, buys in that we want Chet on our website. Here are his triggers and here's how we're going to address it, right? We get the buy-in and now it's time to execute. So next, I'm going to show you an example of a successful strategy coming to life, and then I'll back up and discuss how we got there after you go through that discovery workshop with your team. So maybe Chet is going to get on Google and search how to reduce damaged products on a conveyor. You'll notice that the first result is an ad. The second and third are both organically populated, and it's Glideline, and they're leading to blog posts, not a homepage, not a contact us page. It's educational content that Chet is looking for. Now, if Chet searches something like conveyor lead time, you're gonna see this. You would see the featured snippet, which Glideline owns. We own the first 2 organic results, the video, the first video, and the images. All of these images that you see are Glideline. You want to create a diverse area for Chet to come and research. Maybe he needs to consume information by reading it, maybe by viewing it with a video. You want to create a variety of content for him. Now, as you clicked into that first result, you're going to see you'll have call to actions on that right-hand side right there. You're also going to notice them throughout the middle and towards the end of the blog post, as best practices state. You're going to see videos throughout this blog post and different ways to consume information. Now, if you click on a call to action, you're going to get to this landing page. If somebody wants this information, they're going to have to exchange bits of their information for it. Now, the amount of questions that you can ask is directly related to the value piece of this content. If it's more valuable, you can ask more questions, maybe their job title. If it's just a basic, then you would just ask name, job title, maybe the company they work at. This is the thank you page after they press submit that they would be navigated to. You can click download now to view it right away. And here's that ebook that they would get to. They're also going to be getting an email at the same time. Again, using these automation tools that Julie talked about, they're going to get an email with personalization tokens. Instead of hi friend, it might say hi John. You're going to give them access to the ebook and then always position a next piece of content. No matter where on your website, you should always be presenting a next step for Chet. Allow him to continue his buying journey in your sales cycle, okay? So moving on, we're gonna back up and identify what we do after that workshop. So, or during the workshop. So during that workshop, we've identified that lead time is one of the biggest pain points for Chet. So now we have to understand all of the questions that surround lead time that Chet might ask. We're going to do research, doing keyword research to identify maybe some of the top keywords that he uses. And then we're going to apply those keywords into the content and the titles of the first campaign of lead time. So here are 8 different blog titles, all related to lead time. In all 8 of them, we're going to be strategically positioning this ebook. To get the ebook, they have to exchange bits of information. So one of them is 12 questions to ask when picking a conveyor manufacturer, or how to customize standard conveyors to shorten lead times. We position that ebook within the content, and now all we have to do is report on it after we complete the strategy. So I recommend you start looking at the reports 3 months after executing a campaign. That gives you enough time to see the results, the organic results, if you did any paid, referral traffic, and social traffic. Now this diagram is showing you the power of what Julie was presenting, the automation aspect and then the reporting tools. So this is going to allow you to make an easy decision every year. What is performing best. You're actually able to really hone in on organically what campaign performed best. So did lead time perform best, or is it that customized conveyor that people are looking for? The data will tell you that, and that's what fuels future strategies. If you publish this on social media, which we absolutely recommend you do, think of social as a megaphone. Just pushing this content out to qualified prospects that are already in your network, right? But anyway, social, you can drill down and identify that LinkedIn is the best social platform for you, or maybe it's Twitter. Allow the data to guide your marketing dollars.